We got Shelby Olive here. How you doing?
Hello, good. I'm doing well.
Can you hear yourself?
I don't hear much of myself, no. Let me try that. Nope, none of me.
Are you sure?
It's there now.
I turned it up all the
Okay.
way. These microphones have been on the fritz. Yeah.
I'm here, I hear it now.
Are you here? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Yeah.
So, last time I saw you, you were playing an event in Kent. It was a Black Squirrel Radio event, actually. Mm-hmm. So what's been happening lately?
What's been happening? So I'm a teacher by day, a music teacher in Cuyahoga Falls, and I have 13 days left of school, so I'm counting that down. I am prepping for the release of my upcoming EP. So I released an album in 2018, and so this will be the next record. I've released a couple singles since then, but this is a 4-song EP that it kind of tells the story of a broken relationship from beginning to end, trying to answer the question of what went wrong.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm really proud of it. It's called Bad For Me, and the release is May 31st, so I'm just prepping for that.
So it's kind of like the album has one main theme to it?
Yeah, so like the opening song, obviously, like, it's hard to explain. The opening song is very much they're together, but there's like, they know it's probably not right. The second song is her choosing to leave, but kind of keeping one foot in the door, thinking, I still want this, but I know it's bad for me. The third song is then she runs into him months later and realizes she's not as over him as she thought she was.
Okay.
And the last song is finally like that closure piece.
Nice.
So, yeah, nice. I mean, it's taken about a year to write, and I'm pretty proud of all 4 songs. I mean, just really proud of each of them. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool when you have a theme to the album.
Yeah.
Connects it all together. So that's 6 songs?
4 songs.
4 songs. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thanks. That's like the EP length. But how long are the songs?
I mean, they vary. I would say average about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you recording this at?
So right now, the 3 of the 4 songs are recorded at Creekside Audio in Norton, Ohio. I've been working with Wes McCraw, who is the producer there, since I was 13. So when I was in a band called Recipe of Life back in high school and early college, that's where we started recording. And then when I branched off solo, it kind of just stuck with it. He's wonderful to work with and just really gets what I'm trying to do. So
nice.
The other song was recorded also in Norton at Central 8 Studios with Nathan Doubt. So we actually did a live recording session. So the track that you'll hear on the record is totally one live take. And there's a corresponding music video to go along with it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, is there a band backing you through these?
Sort of. There will be a band at the show. I do play with the band, but on the record, most of the songs are played. The instruments are played by Wes, the producer.
Okay.
So he kind of does the one-man band show.
Yeah.
In the song recorded at Central 8, "Goodbye, My Friend" is what it's called. I actually played it at the Summit 330 festival that they had not too long ago. That one, I have a pianist. His name's Josh Sandman, and he's amazing. So he does a really nice job with it.
Nice. So, was it a full band for that live take, though?
It was just a piano. It's an acoustic kind of pulled back song. So it's just me and Josh.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So I know you play piano and guitar. Mm-hmm. Is there any uke on this?
There is. Actually, there's 2 songs with uke and 2 songs with piano.
Okay.
I'm trying to even it out. So yeah.
Yeah,
a little bit of uke.
That's great. That's awesome. So are you going to more of a uke sound then, more than guitar?
I would say I'm actually probably venturing away from the ukulele heavy stuff. But my former band that I was in was like strictly ukulele.
Ukulele ensemble.
Yeah, we were like a ukulele duo, and so that's all we really played. So I've written a lot on piano recently, and also my baritone uke, which has much more of a guitar sound. So yeah, I mean, I still love ukulele, but I would definitely say this ventures into, somebody categorized it as musical theater pop.
Yeah.
This new record, so which I love. So yeah.
Yeah. So you said it was recorded in Norton, and it's all done?
Yes, as of today, it is officially all finished.
straight off from the studio.
Yes, wait until last minute, but we got it done.
That's great. Also, before I go along here, if anybody has a question for Shelby here and watching the stream, you can just leave them down in the comments, and we'll get to them. Cool. So how long have you been playing guitar?
I've been writing music and playing since 13 years old, 12, 13, probably more 13. Yeah, since my beginning of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2009, I think. But I've been singing for much longer. But, yeah.
So did you play piano or guitar first?
I actually started on ukulele. I played saxophone in band, so when I was in 5th grade. And then when I got to high school, I wanted to learn guitar. My brother played guitar, but I couldn't figure it out because I'm left-handed. And so the 6 strings overwhelmed me, and I self-taught myself ukulele by flipping it upside down. And still to this day, every string instrument I play, I just play it upside down.
Okay.
So I've never reached on anything, but I read everything backwards.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's why I never got into guitar, because I couldn't do it.
Yep.
So how'd you learn piano?
So I was self-taught, like watching YouTube videos and learning how to play my favorite pop songs for like 5 years. I would do lots of YouTube covers of like Ingrid Michaelson, Sarah Bareilles. But then my junior year of high school, I started piano lessons because I'm a music educator. So in college, we're required to take lots of piano. So I can get by. I don't call myself Mozart, but I can do enough to write and to accompany and that kind of thing.
Yeah. You just got off work too.
I did, yeah. Sped here from Cuyahoga Falls.
That's funny. So how long have you been teaching?
This will be my first full year, but I subbed for about a year or half a year before that, so roughly a year and a half.
Nice. And how's that like working out between performing and teaching? Like,
sure. Admittedly, it's been very overwhelming. Performing's kind of a full-time gig if you want to take it seriously, which is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And so is teaching. So there was definitely a learning curve, but thankfully I have my summers off. That's the bonus of being a teacher. So we're really trying to like push the record coming out at the end of May, and then kind of summer I'm touring pretty much the whole time. So it's an okay balance. I mean, I'm very blessed that I have a really supportive teaching community, and my principals are amazing. And yeah.
Do the students know that you're a uke?
They do. Player? Some of them listen to me on Spotify, and it freaks me out because they're like elementary school students.
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing's inappropriate. It's just like I'm singing about boys, and I'm like, that's so weird. But they do. The younger ones think I'm famous because I have videos on YouTube. So they'll like, go home and search me on YouTube, and they're like, "Mom, my music teacher's," you know. So it cracks me up.
That's funny. So where did you come from? How did you get into music?
Sure. So my dad played saxophone in high school and was a songwriter. He was in a band while I was growing up called the Snosberries. And so I've always been surrounded by music, but I would say I didn't really get into songwriting or really take music as a career seriously until middle school. I wanted to be a musical theater major, so I was in show choir, and I really sang a lot of Broadway and everything musical theater for a long time. And then in 2014, I had vocal cord surgery. I found out I had a polyp on one cord and some hemorrhaging about to occur on the other. And I couldn't really sing much at all. I had like one octave. So that's when I really think I started taking the songwriting seriously, and I had surgery and then, therapy. I'm still in vocal therapy today. So I really think that was eye-opening for me, just kind of losing my voice and understanding, what it meant to me and that kind of thing, without being dramatic.
How long has it been since the surgery?
That was January of 2015, so it's been about 4 years. In my first year of teaching, I don't know how much you know about teaching, but you're talking constantly. I have unfortunately damaged my voice again, not as severely as I did in college, but there is a little nodule on one cord. So I started vocal therapy in March, and I've been doing it like twice every other week for about 2 months now. So it's helping, but I'm not as scared as I was before because it seems manageable this time around.
Yeah. Does that restrict you from any certain note range?
I would say sometimes, especially towards the end of the week, because teaching on Monday, I have like 2 days prior to rest, so my voice feels great early in the week, and then by Friday, because I'm talking every day, I'm very fatigued. So I would say just like support-wise and like fatigue-wise, end of the week, it definitely restricts me. I'm trying to be better and just be more aware of it. My students are really understanding. Like, I teach with a microphone all the time.
Yeah.
And I've told them, I'm like, listen, I want to be a musician when I grow up, so I need to take care of my voice, just like you should take care of your voice. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting better from where it was, but it's normal, like, first-year teacher things.
that helps, like, mic technique, too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's really interesting. Like,
yeah.
do you teach music? Or Okay. Yeah, that's what I would...
Yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
That's
Everything
funny.
music.
So with that, you want to play a song?
Yeah. I'll play one that is brand new. It's on the new record. It's called Something I Regret. It's kind of funny to see you standing there. I never thought that you'd grow out all your hair. I kind of like it. Who was that girl you were talking to? I didn't like the way she looked at you. It reminded me of us a year ago. I thought I had my feelings figured out, but now I'm second guessing, full of doubt. 'Cause we were no good together, but I saw her wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. It was so easy to hate you, but now I think I want to date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. This is ridiculous, I can't believe my brain is spiraling, you were no good for me. Why can't I let you go? 'Cause I was doing just fine when I was on my own. Why couldn't you just leave me alone? You're in my head, stuck in my head, get out of my head. I thought I had my feelings figured out, but now I'm second guessing, full of doubt. 'Cause we were no good together, but I saw her wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. It was so easy to hate you, but now I think I want to date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. Gotta walk on by, I shouldn't even say hi. I don't wanna make the same mistake again. You aren't the one for me, you better leave me be. We are better off if we forget. We were no good together, but I saw her wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. But now I think I wanna date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Tim said he loves your voice.
Oh, thank you, Tim.
And his 5th grade teacher had polyps.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's very common with teachers. I had 3 different teachers growing up who had damage, so...
Yeah, you just talk all day, and it's like...
Yeah, and there's not really a chance to rest it, and, you know, you're in, like, a dry school, so... It's getting better. I'm hopeful.
He said she used a bullhorn.
A bullhorn?
Yeah,
I like it.
That's
I
one
use
way
a whistle. I use a whistle.
That's funny. So is that one of the songs that your students talk about?
No, not yet, but they haven't heard it. Since it's not released yet.
Oh, okay.
So they talk about all the ones that are on Spotify. They always, like, it was really cool. I had one girl, she was like, you know, I really like Comfortable in Chaos, but I think We're All Gonna Die is my favorite. I'm like, this is so weird.
Just hearing it, a little kid sing,
it's wacky. She's like 4th grade. I'm like, oh my gosh,
this is crazy. Did you ever think they would be this intuitive when it came to like listening to your music?
Not necessarily, but I do know that, like, I remember being a high school student, and when I first got my phone and, like, got a Facebook, I searched all of my teachers everywhere on the internet because they were just interested in what they did. So it doesn't surprise me because kids are curious, and I'm thankful that I have a pretty clean internet footprint. So I don't mind, I'm writing music that I want everybody to hear, so I don't really mind if they hear it,
Oh, yeah. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Stowe, went to Stillwater Falls, so just down the road.
Yeah. And you said you were in the band there?
I was in band and choir. I was involved in theater and that kind of thing. And then I went to Kent State for college.
Okay. So I'm assuming education?
Music ed, yep.
And you said you were in a couple of bands.
One band.
One band?
One of mine, and then the other I was singing in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then you went solo?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there any particular reason, like, why you
my bandmate and I, she went to Ashland University when we were in college, and we kept the band alive through 2017, and it was very difficult. We had, like, 1 gig or 2 gigs a year, because we were just at different places all the time. And so I started playing solo because I love playing live, and people would ask us if Recipe of Life could do it, and I'd be like, well, she can't because she's out of town, but I would still love to. So eventually she moved to Spain. She's in Spain right now.
Okay.
So that's why we kind of, let it fall to the wayside, I suppose. But she's also a musician. She's got a pretty massive YouTube following. She's like 500,000 subscribers, something like that. So she's pretty legit too. So.
Dang.
But she lives in Spain now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She still plays and stuff.
Yeah. Just across the ocean.
That's cool. And so do you still play the songs that your band played before?
Good question. I play the ones that I wrote. But I never learned how to play on the ukulele the songs that she wrote, so I don't really play those ones. But any of the ones that I wrote and can play, I usually do play.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So where what was I gonna ask? What are your key influences?
Probably my number one influence is Sarah Bareilles. I don't know. I mean, I grew up listening to musical theater, like I said before, and so I've always been a fan of her because I do think she has that kind of musical theater sound and storytelling within her songwriting. So then, of course, when she ventured into actually writing musicals, like Waitress, I was just a big fan. So she's probably my number one. I also really, really love, currently, Emily King. She's like my jam right now. Those are 2 big ones. Brandi Carlile is one of my favorite songwriters of all time. I think she's brilliant. And Irving Berlin is also, he's an oldie. But I studied jazz when I was in college and sang with the big band here. Yeah. So I did a lot of jazz, in my college years.
Does that still come out in your songwriting?
I would say so. Probably more so my piano stuff than my ukulele stuff. But yeah, I try to as best I can.
So how long have you been singing?
4th grade.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, so I don't know how old 4th graders are, 10? Something around that age.
Yeah.
About 10 years old. I sang originally with my dad was the worship leader at our church, so I started singing with him as a backing vocalist.
Okay.
And then I joined show choir at age 12 and sang all the time.
Nice. Yeah. So have your kind of inspirations, like the artists you look at, have they changed going throughout?
Probably, I'd say so. When I was first started writing music, I was very, very into the YouTube scene. So I listened to so many YouTube musicians, Dodie, who's obviously bigger now, but she was one of the big ones, and Tessa Violet, who's also a little bigger now, Rusty Clanton, Orla Gartland. I still love those people, but I think when I first started writing music, I very much tried to do what they were doing because they were doing it successfully, and I wanted to. I really focused a lot on the YouTube thing when I first started, and then once I started playing live and doing records, I think I've found my sound versus trying to imitate what they're necessarily doing.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. When did you start performing live?
Probably about 14 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have your parents, who they listen to, has that affected affected you?
I don't know. My mom's not a musician, but she tends to listen to like top 100 pop. My dad has a very eclectic music taste, so we listen to a lot of the same stuff, but also very different.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it has had influence. Yeah.
And you said your dad was the musician?
Yeah, he was the worship leader at my church growing up. Honestly, he still is. So forever, as long as I can imagine.
Nice. And what's like your earliest memory of any type of music? If you can answer that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty deep question.
I'm thinking. Earliest memory, probably like sitting in on my dad's band rehearsals in the basement of his friend's house with like his synthesizer.
Oh.
They have a song called Seasick Sailor, and their band was called the Snosberries, so you can guess.
What genre were they? Do you remember?
I don't know what you'd classify the genre. I'd say something along the lines of like synth pop.
Was it
rock.
Music?
What?
Was it music?
Yeah, I mean, it has a very dated sound. It's still good. He's a good songwriter, but it's definitely dated.
It's like that synthy
like
stuff.
Like the 80s, like synthesizer heavy, and like the vocal effect microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very cool, but yeah, I remember sitting in on his band practices when I was very young. Earliest memory of like me making music was probably show choir. When I joined a community show choir called ETC. So I was in 5th grade, and I remember that's like my first time performing.
Yeah. And what's your like creative process when you're songwriting?
Sometimes it's very therapeutic, and it just comes out, and it's wonderful. I tend, sometimes it's definitely not. I tend to write music and lyrics together. Sometimes I'll have like a melody idea, but I don't have words for months to years. Mm-hmm. I will say sometimes I like just force it out in a rush and hope like it's good, and if it's not, I just throw it away.
Yeah.
There's one song on the record called "Spin Me Around." It's the opening song, and so me and my husband kind of decided on the concept of the album back in February.
Yeah.
And I had 3 of the 4 songs written, so the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th song on the record, those had been written for a while. But the first song, I knew what I wanted to say, but I had not written it yet.
Yeah.
So I booked a studio session for April 16th, like in March, and I was like, I have a whole month, I can definitely get this written in time, no problem. I woke up the morning of April 16th after having 0 luck, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and wrote the entire song at, like from 5 to 7, went and
chords and all?
Yeah, chords and all. Like wrote the whole thing. Went and taught a whole day of teaching, sat in the parking lot of an Office Max, and like on my laptop, like used the like keyboard GarageBand, like where you actually use your keyboard to play the chords.
It's the best.
And staying into it, and like I would send my husband clips like driving to the studio being like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And I get to the studio and I recorded the whole thing. It's my favorite track on the record.
That's crazy.
For sure. But it was so procrastinated.
Huh. That's like the hour before.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I was in the car on the way, like, trying to write the words, and, it was a hot mess. But I really like how it turned out, so.
Did you, like, you knew what to say, but not how to say it?
Exactly,
is that what it was?
I knew what I wanted the song, like, to portray just with the storyline that we had decided on, but I had no chords, no melody, I knew nothing, so.
Dang, that's crazy. Has your, like, process changed over the years, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think when I first started writing, I would just, come up with, like, some sort of 4-chord pattern, and then I would just sing over the same 4 chords the whole time. Now, because I've written so many songs, I can't just do that anymore, because they just start to sound like other songs I've written. So I do try to, like, force myself out of habits. I find myself now writing melodies before I write the chords, and kind of finding, like, a drone or, like, some sort of melodic phrase that I like, and then trying to write the song around it. My producer's also really helpful with, like, suggesting more interesting chords than what I play.
I was going to ask if they're really intuitive about going in and helping you.
Yeah, so I mean, Wes is a genius, and he definitely gives me like full artistic creative control. But when he hears something, and because he can play bass, guitar, keys, drums. I mean, he's got the whole gamut.
Oh yeah.
So he hears things that I don't always hear, being just like a ukulele player. So he's very helpful. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome when the producer can help with stuff like that.
Because I have worked with studios before where they're like, all right, what do you want to do here? What do you want to add here? I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know.
I know I'm supposed to know, but I have no idea.
Yeah, it's great when they can actually help and all that. Have your lyrics changed over time?
Oh, yeah. So my first, 4 years of writing songs, I'm married to my middle school sweetheart. We started dating when we were in 8th grade, so since we were 14.
Okay.
And we dated all through high school, all through college, and then we got married last year. So
nice.
Every song that I wrote for about 4 years was about him. At one point I wrote the lyric, kid you not, we go together like mac and cheese, salt and pepper.
That's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Like mac and cheese.
I mean, I do think there's a place for that type of music and what I did write, and it was all very genuine and but at some point I had to mature, and I did. And so when I got to college, our relationship got harder. So there's definitely some songs that aren't necessarily like romantic cheesy, but I will say I struggled very much the past 2 years with a close relationship of mine, a friendship, and most of my songs, everything on this record, is actually about that. And so, I mean, I think it's just matured more and life experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not writing cheesy love songs all the time. I still do, but they're definitely more. There's more depth. Yeah,
you definitely got to throw in one or two every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
To keep it going. Yeah. Is there a favorite topic you like writing about?
Probably love, I would say, which is so a silly answer. I don't know. Being someone who has been in the same relationship since 14, I do think that my perspective, I don't want to say I don't know it all. I just got married, but I do think it's rare and to have a relationship like that. So I mean, I'm very blessed and lucky to have met Jimmy as young as I did. But yeah, I really do like writing songs about just standing by someone and staying with them and choosing, commitment. But I also like writing songs about friendships that piss me off and make me mad. And there was like I said, a 2-year time span where me and a close friend of mine just did not get along, and so a lot of the songs are about that. But we've since resolved things. So
yeah, that's great though.
Yeah.
Did you want to play another song?
Sure.
I'm just firing questions at you.
I'm retuning. Cool. I'll play a slower one this time. This is not on the new record, but it's one of my favorite songs I've written. If I'm being honest, today's not my day. I don't know how I'll clean the mess that I've made. As much as it pains me to say that it's true, I've got some working to do. The problem with humans is humans are flawed. We tear down each other in the name of standing tall. I'm as guilty as any, a sinner in his eyes, and he keeps giving me chances to try. With this broken heart, I'll try to love as best I can. I don't know what you've been through, you don't know who I am. And all that I ask is we think before we speak, 'cause words spoken, they weigh more than ink. I was probably mistaken Didn't mean what I said. Feels like the more I say I'm sorry, the more people are misled. It's not that I'm lying, it's just harder than it seems to let go of control and just be. With this broken heart, I'll try to love as best I can. I don't know what you've been through, you don't know who I am. And all that I ask is we think before we speak, 'cause words spoken may weigh more than ink. We are one in the same. We've gotta stop changing stories and stop shifting blame. I know if we try, we can change for the better. Some people will choose to stand up for what's right, while some are on a mission to bring darkness into light. But there's nothing more destructive than staying silent in the crowd. They won't hear us if we don't make sound. With these broken hearts, we can love as best we can. We don't know what they've been through, but we can give them a hand. And all that I ask is we think before we speak, 'cause words spoken may weigh more than ink. Words spoken mean more than we think.
Yeah.
Hey.
I gotta do the clap.
Love the claps.
So talk about that song. That was
Yeah.
that was a good message.
Thank you. So I wrote that in 2016. Wrote it following, I think it was the presidential election, but I could be wrong. It was something where everyone went online and started pointing fingers and blaming each other, and people were talking.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. But I think it was, the presidential election that we all went through. So I noticed, just scrolling and reading people that I love and cherish, talking horrible things and pointing fingers, and I found and still find that we, myself included, like to place the blame on other people and say that all of our problems are caused by somebody else, but nobody actually fesses up and accepts the blame.
Yeah.
And I also found that things that we say to each other, people that we love, especially hidden behind a screen, can tear each other down. I mean, I remember just being so hurt reading different things that people were saying to each other, and I think so often, especially with the digital age, we say things that we don't necessarily mean,
yeah,
and we can't take them back. And so this song is really just about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and thinking about what you say before you say it, because words matter, and you can't take them back. And I think too often we throw them around. So it's a very special song. It's probably one of my favorite songs I've written, just because, I don't know. When I wrote it, I was like, this totally sounds like a Sarah Bareilles song. And then I was like, how am I that deep? I'm not normally that deep. That's crazy. So I think it was one of those songs that kind of came in an instant, and not for me, but for others. So
yeah. Did it take time to write? Did it just
a few days, but not really that. I mean, some of my songs I sit on for years. So,
yeah.
It really, I mean, yeah, I knew what I wanted to say, and it kind of just flowed out. So yeah, it's really special to me. It also, it was the song that won me the grand prize for the Akron High Arts Festival. Not last year, 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love the High Arts Festival.
Yeah.
So fun. You're listening to the Squires Show on Black Squirrel Radio. You can tune in at blacksquirrelradio.com, and I am streaming on Facebook, facebook.com/Davey Squires. I'm here with Shelby Olive.
Woo!
Getting some questions.
Awesome.
So have you ever collaborated with any other bands?
Yes. So as a songwriter, or as just me?
Both.
Both. So I used to sing quite a bit with Daniel Rylander and his band. I was the backing vocalist and did a lot of music with him. I will say I don't do a lot of songwriting collaboration, not because I don't want to. I would love to. I am very admittedly nervous about it. I don't know. Like, I think I'm good, but then when I'm in the presence of somebody else, I'm like, am I good? I don't know. And I am a very indecisive person by nature. I am an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs and a 4 on the Enneagram. So definitely always second guess myself forever and ever.
You're tested.
So I definitely would love to collaborate with other songwriters. I just haven't done a lot of that other than with my bandmate back when we were Recipe of Life. But yeah, I mean, I love collaborating with other musicians. Jake Briggs, I've done some music with him. Josh Samad, my pianist, I've done music with him. So, trying to think of others. I don't know. Can't think of any others right now. But, I mean, yeah. I love to do collaborative shows and, like, share bills with musicians that I love because then I can enjoy the gigs that I play. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any certain open mics you go to locally?
When I wasn't teaching, I would go to Gretchen Pless's open mic at Uncorked Wine in Akron. I went to that one quite a bit. Blue Rock Cafe used to have an open mic that I used to go to all the time.
Yeah.
And Hudson. I haven't done open mics in forever because they're usually like a weeknight.
I was so sad when that place shut down.
I know, me too. I loved it. Yeah.
Are there any favorite venues you like playing at in general?
Yeah. I love, in terms of, like, local supportive scenes, I really, really love Corner Cup Coffee House. It's not really a venue, but Heather, the owner there, has been supporting me. She sells my music and my CDs at the coffee shop, and I love playing there. It's a small little coffee shop, but they're just so homey. That's one of my favorites. In terms of music venues, I absolutely adore Musica. Especially, the new management's been wonderful to work with. That's where my EP release show is going to be.
Yeah.
And I've played there 3 times before. I go to shows there all the time. It's one of my favorites in this area, for sure.
Super good sound system.
Yeah.
Any more?
I'm thinking.
I thought you were gonna keep talking.
Yeah. I mean, I've played it quite a bit, but I don't know if there's any other favorites per se. When I went on tour, I really loved the Plymouth Coffee House or Coffee Bean in Plymouth, Michigan. That's a really cute venue. They've actually got like a whole room set up for music with like a stage and seating and that kind of thing. So yeah, that was a cool venue.
I actually almost went and played there.
Yeah?
But then my car broke down.
Oh no!
I was like, I couldn't.
I really do love it. It's one of my favorites.
Is there any notable ones that you've played at? And
I've played at Akron Civic. I mean, that's a fairly notable in this area. But trying to think notable wise, I don't know what notable means.
I don't know.
Like big.
I think
big venues. I mean, in this area, I've played Musica. I've played the Kent Stage. I've played Empire. That's a newer venue. I've played obviously the Akron Civic. In Columbus, I've only played festivals in Columbus. No, I've played at the what was it called? The Shrunken Head. Is that in Columbus? There's an S. I think it's called the Shrunken Head.
I think, is that in Columbus?
It's like outside of downtown. It's a suburb. I think it was the Shrunken Head. I could be totally wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, I've played a Grog Shop in Cleveland. I can't think of any others. I mean, I've played. Oh, I don't know.
Nah, you're good.
I don't have a list.
So what's your favorite part of doing this? Of playing?
I mean, for me, writing music is so therapeutic. And for me to be able to say everything I'm feeling, I feel quite a lot. So for me, it helps me kind of process what I'm feeling and get my thoughts across without hurting others. So the songwriting process, I really love that. But I love just getting to share what I feel with people. I mean, the connections I'm able to make from things that I've gone through, and being able to share that with people who get that. That's the best part, is, connecting with other humans.
Yeah, definitely. And what advice would you have for any young musicians?
Yeah, keep playing. Like, play out all the time, every chance you get. I did that, and I should have even done more of it, but you're always going to think that it's bad, but eventually you'll get better. Definitely also just keep writing. I find myself even still, like, if I haven't written in a while, it's like a muscle. If you don't work it, you're going to lose that stamina. And so I find, like, if I go like a month without writing, then I get scared and I wake myself out and I sit in my room for literal days and hours just trying to write something, and I scrap it all and I get really mad at myself. So just write stuff. I mean, if you're out in your car, like while driving, think of things. Get off your phone. Get off your phone. That's for me too, because I spend so much time and then you're not being inspired by things. So just constantly work the gigging muscle, the writing muscle, and make connections. That's what I'd say.
That's good. That's like the best answer. I ask that every show, and that's the most descriptive answer
that's good.
I've ever gotten.
I don't know if it's worked for me thus far, so.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's awesome. And there's sometimes where music isn't therapeutic, and it's like the total opposite, but then it gets there, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one more song, and then we'll wrap it up for this hour?
Cool. Awesome. All right, this one's a cheesy love song. It's called A World With You. I'm imperfect, I'm a mess, a bitter heart inside my chest. But you came and you turned it all around. I micromanage, I like control, I like consistency, which frankly I have none of when I'm with you. But since you came, you have never let me down. And you're exhausting, you're confusing, but the best thing I have ever known. So if it means sometimes you wear me out, I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause a world with you is all I need and more. You're kinda cute, you make me laugh. Most of the time I wanna kiss you, other times I wanna hit you, but you know I wouldn't dare. I like your face, I like your smile, I like your hair. And I like the way you hold my hand, and the way you say I love you just by doing what you can to make me happy as can be. You really are the other half of me. And you're exhausting, you're confusing, but the best thing I have ever known. So if it means sometimes you wear me out, I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause a world with you is all I need and more. I'm exhausting, I'm confusing, but you don't seem to mind. I'm sorry if I ever wear you out, but I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause a world with you is all I need and more.
Yeah. You really tell it like how it is with your songs. You're really like, you're not only like descriptive, but you you give like the full idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never been good at writing things with like a hidden meaning, like symbolic things. My bandmate used to be so good at that, and it would make me so mad because I'm so literal in my songwriting.
I don't get it.
But I think there's a place for both. So
yeah, it sounds great.
Thank you.
What are some of your upcoming shows?
Yeah, so the big one, the big one is May 31st at Akron Musica. It is my Bad For Me EP release show. I'll be playing with a full band. It starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are $10. You can find them on all of my social media, Shelby Olive, anywhere. There's the links. But Zach, the songwriter from Akron, and Madison Cummins are opening the show, and then me and my full band will finish off the night. These are my favorite songs, and the band is wonderful, and I'm just so blessed for this performance. So I'm really excited about it. Please come. Please buy the record when it's out. On top of that, June 21st, I'll be at Empire Concert Club with Daniel Rylander and Old Love, which is Josie McGee and Spencer. What's his last name? I don't know his last name. Spencer. It's Josie and Spencer, but I don't know his last name. I'm sorry, Spencer. They'll be opening for me, and then catch me online at shelbyolive.com because I will be going on a short Ohio tour this summer, playing in Columbus, playing in Cleveland, playing in Toledo, playing in Akron, Canton, everywhere, Youngstown, hopefully. So yeah. Yeah,
and I tagged you in the description for the live stream.
Perfect.
So yeah, if you wanna.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Find my music on iTunes, Spotify, all that jazz.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, Shelby.
Thanks so much.